All right, beginning of Keep Track Week here in Council Bluffs. Last one before the three-city comparison. Today, first day is tips, and I'm about to head to the casino very early. It's not even 11 yet. Around 3 p.m., I'm going to start counting tips for 5 hours, and when I'm done playing, I will let you know how much the dealers made in tips over these 5 hours. Again, disclaimer, you can't just take this number, divide by 5 tips per hour, and multiply by 2,000. Dealers don't necessarily work 2,000 hours per year. There's also a wage added on that dealers earn, different by state, but sometimes they get sent home before, they work 8 hours a day before they work 40 hours a week. Sometimes they're made to stay longer. Breaks, brush tables, they don't get tips. Occasionally on a brush table, not when they're on break. So a lot more goes into it, but I'm just letting you know, wild dealing. Small sample, only 5 hours, but wild dealing today in Council Bluffs. How much did dealers make over 5 hours? You see the water coming down? I mean, clearly here you can see it, but it's dripping down because when it rains outside here in the parking garage at the Horseshoe Council Bluffs, it just leaks, comes through the roof, and you have these puddles everywhere. Over there, walks by a ton. Over here, over there, a lot of them. Classic Council Bluffs. Finally, I am done counting. I know this is only like the first or second day of Council Bluffs Keep Track Week that you're seeing. I did not film these videos in the order that I published them. So this is my final day of counting. This has been exhausting. 3 places, 3 cities instead of 2 last year, and I don't know why. It's not like that much more. It's not like 10 cities compared to 2 last year, but I don't know. It has been a lot of work counting all these things. Finally done, so I'm happy about that. Today, I think tips. Today I counted tips. The numbers are on the screen. I'll make some space there. You know what's interesting about today? I think the total was $177 in tips in 5 hours, which is still good. I think it's whatever. The average is on the screen also. I think $35.40 per hand. Still a good average. Even though we had a lot of hands that did not have a tip, just some chops. We had a lot of hands that were raised and everyone folded, or like one person limped. The small blind completed, the big blind checked. It was just a $9 pot check down. There were stretches where it wasn't a great table. I got here early. Nebraska, this is week 2 of college football. Nebraska played Colorado, Iowa played at Iowa State. I guess a lot of people stayed home to watch those games and then came out, because for a lot of the late morning and early afternoon, it was kind of quiet in the poker room. Things got busier. It's a lot busier right now down there. So yeah, early in the count, it was kind of hit or miss how good the game was. Towards the end of the count, because I counted for 5 hours, it was better. But yeah, despite that, I'm saying 35-40 is a very good number and not really all that different. What's interesting, and you'll see in the next Keep Track video, is I think this was the first time, I won't ruin it too much for you, I think this was the first time ever, the 3 cities this year, the 2 cities last year, I think it's the first time tips were less than $1 per hand. There was one 4-way all-in that had a $10 tip, and then another all-in that had a $5 tip, and I don't remember another hand where there was a tip more than $2. Some 2s, a lot of 1s, more 0s than 2s. I mean, it had to be. If the average was less than 1, that means the 0s had to be, the quantity of hands where the tip was 0 had to be more than the 2s, that one $5 tip and that one $10 tip combined, so to bring the average down under 1. So even though it was kind of poor in terms of tips, the final result, $35.40 per hour, is still solid. Again, not you can't just multiply $35.40 by 2,000 and say that's what every dealer makes every single year. There's a lot more to it than that. But for these 5 hours this day at the Horseshoe Council Bluffs, it was $35.40 per hour. And I'll see you next time. And remember, rice is a spoon food.